Imane Khelif, the Algerian Olympic champion who became a symbol of both sporting triumph and controversy at the Paris 2024 Olympics, is once again in the global spotlight as she mounts a legal battle against world boxing's newly introduced genetic sex testing rule. Her case has triggered heated debates around fairness, gender identity, science, ethics, and the rights of athletes to compete without invasive scrutiny. Khelif's rise to fame came with both glory and controversy. In Paris 2024, she claimed the gold medal in the women's welterweight division after a stunning run that included a first-round knockout victory. Yet even as she celebrated, critics questioned her eligibility after her prior disqualification from the 2023 World Championships by the now-defunct International Boxing Association (IBA). The IBA claimed Khelif had failed gender eligibility tests, though the details were never disclosed, leading to widespread criticism about transparency and fairness. The International Olympic Committee (IOC), however, stood by her. Officials affirmed that she was registered as female, held valid documentation, and lived her life as a woman. They declared her eligible to compete in Paris, dismissing the IBA's procedures as unreliable. Still, Khelif's Olympic triumph was clouded by backlash. Following her knockout victory, social media erupted with allegations and online harassment. Figures including author J.K. Rowling and entrepreneur Elon Musk were accused of fueling the fire, prompting Khelif to launch legal action in France against several high-profile personalities for defamation and cyberbullying. In public statements, she reaffirmed her identity with conviction, saying, "I am a woman, I was born a woman, I live as a woman, and I compete as a woman." The controversy appeared to settle after the Games, but in May 2025, World Boxing, the new IOC-recognized governing body replacing the IBA, reignited the debate. It announced a mandatory genetic sex testing policy for all women's boxing events, starting with the 2025 World Championships in Liverpool. The rule requires every female competitor to undergo non-invasive PCR-based cheek swabs to detect the presence of a Y chromosome. If detected, the athlete would be barred from competing in women's divisions and redirected to men's categories. The measure, according to World Boxing, is designed to protect fairness and athlete safety in a high-contact sport. The decision was explosive not only because of the rule itself, but also because World Boxing named Imane Khelif directly when announcing the policy. This unusual step effectively singled her out, violating norms of medical privacy and sparking outrage. Facing criticism, World Boxing later apologized for naming her specifically, yet the damage had been done. The announcement gave the impression that the policy was crafted with her in mind, making her case the most high-profile test of the rule. In August 2025, Khelif officially appealed the decision to the Court of Arbitration for Sport (CAS). Her appeal seeks to overturn the ruling, allow her to compete at the World Championships without undergoing genetic testing, and set a precedent that protects athletes from what she and her supporters call discriminatory practices. CAS confirmed that both sides had submitted documents and that a hearing would be scheduled. However, on September 1, 2025, the court rejected her urgent request to suspend the testing requirement before the tournament. This means she is barred from competing in Liverpool while the full case proceeds. Khelif has not stepped back from the fight. Despite rumors of her retirement, she declared her intent to continue boxing and to aim for the Los Angeles 2028 Olympics. She took to social media to share personal reflections and images presenting a more feminine look, underscoring her resilience in the face of online harassment. "Any athlete can be a victim," she said, stressing that her struggle goes beyond her own career. It concerns the dignity and rights of all women athletes. The policy itself has sparked fierce debate within sport and beyond. Advocates argue that genetic testing is a necessary safeguard in contact sports like boxing, where biological differences in strength and endurance could pose safety risks. Critics, however, highlight that chromosome testing is outdated, scientifically simplistic, and ethically problematic. For decades, sports federations have moved away from such testing, recognizing that biological sex is complex and not reducible to the presence of a Y chromosome. Conditions such as differences in sexual development (DSDs) complicate binary categories, and privacy concerns remain paramount. Khelif's case echoes broader disputes across global sports, including track and field battles over testosterone regulations and controversies surrounding athletes like Caster Semenya. Unlike those cases, which hinged on hormonal levels, World Boxing's rule revives an older method long criticized for stigmatizing athletes and violating human rights. The IOC, under its new president Kirsty Coventry, has launched a task force to reassess eligibility rules across all sports. This suggests that the debate around fairness and inclusion in women's competitions is far from resolved. The implications for boxing are significant. If World Boxing's policy is upheld, it could set a precedent for other combat sports to adopt stricter eligibility tests. Conversely, if CAS rules in Khelif's favor, the federation may be forced to rethink its stance and find less invasive ways to ensure fairness. The case also raises questions about how international federations balance athlete rights with demands for competitive integrity. For Algeria, Khelif is a national hero whose gold medal at Paris 2024 inspired pride. The Algerian Boxing Federation and government have voiced strong support, condemning what they see as unfair treatment and an attempt to strip her of her dignity. Internationally, human rights groups have echoed these concerns, pointing to her singling out as evidence of systemic bias. At the heart of the matter lies the tension between two principles: protecting the female category in sport and respecting the rights and identities of athletes. Both are legitimate concerns, but the path forward remains deeply contested. For Khelif, this legal battle is not just about competing again, it is about asserting her right to exist and excel in the sport she has dedicated her life to. As the CAS case proceeds, the sporting world watches closely. The decision could shape the future of eligibility policies not only in boxing but across all Olympic sports. It could also determine whether Imane Khelif's legacy is remembered solely for her achievements in the ring, or equally for her role in reshaping the rules that govern women's sport. Her story underscores the complexities of modern athletics, where science, law, politics, and identity collide. For now, Khelif remains sidelined from competition, but her fight continues, in court, in public opinion, and in her unwavering determination to return to the ring on her own terms.